The Bermuda Triangle has been shrouded in mystery for years, with countless stories of unexplained disappearances and strange occurrences that have captured the public's imagination. But what if there was more to this mysterious area than meets the eye? In recent years, a team of researchers made an incredible discovery that could rewrite history as we know it. Hello, and welcome to our channel, The Hidden Agenda. Before I start, please subscribe to our channel to get more interesting videos about these exciting mysteries. There is no solid evidence of its existence, but that didn't stop explorers from fantasizing. For example, the Hollywood movie Aquaman might have got inspired by these stories. We may never be able to know if the Atlanteans truly existed or what happened to them, but it does not stop us from asking questions. In this video, we will try to find those answers. A mythical island in the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantis, also spelled Atalantis or Atlantica, is said to be swallowed in the depth of the ocean. Somehow, Bermuda Triangle was held responsible for some theories. It wasn't until the late 19th century that the theory emerged that Atlantis was a real historical location and not merely a mythology created by Plato, a renowned ancient Greek philosopher. He claimed that the utopian island kingdom existed 9,000 years before his time and mysteriously vanished one day. This city was said to be famous for being the display of all worldly delights in the universe and was enigmatic as its charm. Atlantis's mysterious location. The largest mystery that baffles experts is the tricky location of this lost city. According to the stories, the city is thought to have been destroyed by a tsunami or earthquake and then sunk into the ocean. They said the so-called Atlantis was a great island near the Rock of Gibraltar with a statue of Poseidon, circular walls, and canals. Plato went on to say that the city beneath the water should have been in the Atlantic Ocean, but no technology ever discovered such a town on the ocean floor. Several hypotheses claimed that Atlantis was in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Spain, but few also asserted that it may possibly be under Antarctica. The Azores were long thought to be the location of the metropolis of Atlantis. However, recent exploration has uncovered a new location, and experts are confident that the lost city of Atlantis may be discovered in the seas of Cadiz between Spain and Morocco. Although the clarity of this story is still somewhat vague, the exact location and the existence of Atlantis remains still in question. Until the truth is revealed, the world will speculate about the greatest metropolis of all time. Estimated size of this giant city. The primary source of information about the size of Atlantis is the two dialogues of Plato, where he relates how Egyptian priests depicted Atlantis as an island larger than Asia Minor and Libya combined, located just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the Strait of Gibraltar, during a conversation with the Athenian lawgiver Solon. Since many people have suggested the Mediterranean as a possible location for Atlantis, some stories have been written about how big the city was compared to Crete, the biggest island in Greece. After Plato, several myths characterized Atlantis as a large metropolis without specifying its size. American Christian mystic Edgar Cayce proposed that Atlantis and Eurasia were of comparable size. The backstory. Myth is that Atlantis was the dreamy heaven created out of love by Poseidon, the god of the sea and storms and earthquakes. He built this after falling in love with a mortal woman named CLEITO. To protect her, he built this hilltop metropolis on an uninhabited island in the sea, which he named Atlantis. Poseidon was in search of the largest island on the planet. He stopped his search when he got to Atlantis, where he encountered a population that was more attractive and clever than anybody else. There he met CLEITO, who he fell in love with. Poseidon surrounded his new residence with rings of water and land. 5 tunnels connected the 5 rounds of water to the earth, while a large canal connected the outer rings of water to the ocean. Each entrance to the city was fortified with gates and towers, and the tunnels were wide enough to handle ships. Furthermore, the wall that encloses the rings is made of red, white, and black stone and is adorned with valuable metals. Do you think CLEITO was treated like a queen here? Wait till you hear the following event. They say there was a hill named Hill of CLEITO, where his lover CLEITO was under house arrest. Poseidon locked her up in fear of getting cheated. This hill is covered with huge moats and pillars, which sounds perfect to isolate the hill. Poseidon's golden statue. The tale that had CLEITO and Poseidon have 5 sets of twin sons, and the firstborn was called Atlas. They inherited the kingdom-like city that was ruled by Poseidon's eldest son. But it's said they also constructed a large temple for their father, which included a massive figure of Poseidon driving a chariot drawn by winged horses. The golden statue was housed in a temple with a spiral dome. The structure is claimed to be too high that clouds can pass through its curves. If it exists, the world would get a vast mine of wealth. Atlantis's wealth and prosperity. Atlantis's population was split between humans and gods. Their harmony made the tale more appealing to the public. It was claimed to be an independent region where people cultivated their food and raised animals without any chaos. Some say that Atlantis was a utopia, where no one had to work hard and where a wide variety of delicious foods were grown. In addition, they used black and red stones to build stunning structures. They also had plenty of time to experiment with volcanoes, leisurely use crystals, and had access to rare metals and even metals like brass. Bermuda Triangle and Atlantis. Many people today still believe that the legend of the lost city of Atlantis is nothing more than a conspiracy theory. However, several studies have suggested that the myth is grounded in historical fact. Robert Ballard, an ocean explorer, sees similarities between the narrative and a huge volcanic explosion on Santorini in the Aegean Sea near Greece. According to Ballard, a highly developed civilization that once existed there abruptly perished, much like Atlantis. Ignatius Donnelly, like Plato, verified the presence and eventual demise of a continent in the middle of the Atlantic. Following Donnelly's claim, many other experts tried to theorize the probable location of Atlantis. Among them, Charles Berlitz had notable contributions and wrote numerous works about paranormal events. In the 1970s, Berlitz claimed that the Bermuda Triangle, an area in the Atlantic where many ships had vanished under inexplicable circumstances, was actually the site of the lost continent of Atlantis, which was located off the coast of the Bahamas. Supporters of this notion include the discovery of what appeared to be man-made walls and streets off the coast of Bimini, even though experts have examined these objects and determined they are actually natural beach rock formations. Additionally, another theory proposed that current Antarctica represents the updated version of Atlantis. It came from the research of Charles Hapgood. According to Hapgood, Antarctica was once located far further north than it is today because of a movement in the Earth's crust about 12,000 years ago. An ancient civilization claimed to have lived in this place where the climate was much warmer than today. However, its abrupt transformation to ice might be the reason for their disappearance. This magnificent city got buried under layers of ice. Hapgood's notion emerged before the scientific world had complete knowledge of plate tectonics, sidelining his shifting crust theory to the edges of Antillean beliefs. Failure in search for the lost city forced experts to claim that Plato invented Atlantis to represent his ideal image of society, and that its death, which caused the city to sink, was a warning story of the gods punishing human arrogance. Despite current improvements in oceanography and ocean floor imaging, no traces of a buried culture have yet been discovered. Furthermore, there are no documented traces of Atlantis outside of Plato's discussion, let alone any hint from the history of ancient Greece. What's your opinion on this? We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments or suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.